say a few holes in the arguments from the prosecution. Again, our opponent was talking about the effects of marijuana. And I don't mean to be the bearer of bad news, but this is a case about the Fourth Amendment, not whether or not marijuana is a Class 1A drug or whatever. The illegal search was completely not in the right intent for the principal to even have that right, because with the framers' intent or original intent, which you may call it, which is just a theory in law concerning the constitutional statutory interpretation. And again, I'll talk about TLO. A huge difference between our case and TLO is at the time when the cell phone was taken away by the faculty, although the student was texting in class, there was still no probable cause, or as you may state it, reasonable suspicion for the principal to look into the student's phone, even if there was a weird photo that may have appeared on John Doe's.
Do you believe that the Founding Fathers' intention for the Fourth Amendment was to be applicable to teenagers or high school students?
Well, I believe the 14th Amendment, which states, in fact, in 1860, during the Reconstruction era, that all laws should be applied equally. I definitely believe that. And so I'll go back to the case. A question asked yesterday from the prosecution. When asked if it was justified to search the phone without there being any prior knowledge of possible smoking or marijuana dealing in John Doe's past, they said it was. But when asked, was the principal positive that there was a bong in the photo, they said no, but based on his past, he gives probable cause and reasonable suspicion, which contradicts himself. In the case of TLO, it was a case of two high school teenagers accused of smoking in the school bathroom. When taken into the school office, one of the two teenage girls admitted to all wrongdoings. TLO, however, did not, leading to the vice principal searching her person, finding several pieces of marijuana paraphernalia, such as pipes, rolling papers, and of course marijuana itself. In our very unique case, the junior at Kaufman High, by the name we call John Doe, had his phone confiscated in class, which was a direct violation of the school's district's cell phone policy. Now I ask you people in court. Now, although both were school policies, it is clear that the school's policy on cell phone use is a far less significant one than drug use. I believe that's fair. And with all these facts considered, I believe the only way to look at this case of New Jersey versus TLO, because I believe in the Supreme Court, it was ruled in a 6-3 majority decision, and I don't doubt that TLO was guilty. I just doubt that in our case, it's digital evidence versus physical evidence, and that's really that's the big barrier between our case and that case from 1985. And the cases, we can look at some recent ones, such as GC versus Owensboro, which is when a federal appeals court ruled that the search of a student's text messages by a school administrator was unlawful in regards to.
I have a question about that. So yesterday, GC versus Owensboro was referenced, and they ruled that the search was unreasonable because there was no evidence that anything would be found directly on the phone. The case was that he was experiencing anger and depression, but they had no real reason to search his phone and no proof that something would be on the phone. But in our case, there was evidence that there would be something on the phone, considering there was a picture on the phone. Do you believe that it was not within the scope of the search to search on the phone, considering the picture was on the phone?
I believe that if, say, a phone's open, and maybe you can accidentally press a button and the background goes on, I believe that's still digital, even though you might think it's physical evidence, it's still a digital part from the phone. And in that case of GC versus Owensboro, they did rule for, even though it was a teenager, they had the right to the Fourth Amendment.
Right, but they ruled that because they said the scope of the search was reasonable, because they had solid evidence that something would be found on. They did not have solid evidence because something would be found on the phone. But in this case, there is evidence that something would be found on the phone. Do you believe that is not within the scope of the search?
Well,
Okay, thank you.
Another thing I would like to bring up is that phone. on the phone when the principal searched it. Was the photo dated? I mean, who's to say that photo wasn't of the past, which the principal obviously knew there was a past of drug use with the junk phone. And if you found anything else that it just wouldn't be upheld in court, such as, for example, if the principal found extensive plans to commit tax fraud in the future, that wouldn't be upheld in court, because Doe would have been protected and should also be, in this case, by the Fourth Amendment. And in regards to the Raphael case, the prosecution has not proved there being one danger to any student, including in Kaufman High School. The principal hasn't proved anything. And the opponent admitted that an unlawful search based on reasonable decision would be the school be notified that drugs are in the school's backpack and searching their phone. So you're saying that a direct report of drugs in somebody's backpack is less suspicious than John Doe texting class and you see a weird picture on his backdrop that isn't dated? And with all that considered, I'll leave up to Sarah Kanye.
Your Honors, there is one point I want to make clear in this case, and that is a sliding scale. Simply defined as the amount of reasonable suspicion must be proportionate to the warrant, the scope of the search. In John Doe's case, the amount of suspicion did not match the degree of consequence. Riley v. California determined that a sufficient amount of reasonable suspicion and probable cause is needed to search the phone because of the sensitive information found in it. A glance at an unclear digital photo does not justify enough cause to search personal messages. The scale continues in Safford v. Redding, where it's decided that the thoroughness of that search is a violation of the Fourth Amendment. Regarding the intimacy of a person, a digital device and the undergarments are equally private and should not be searched upon on a low degree of reasonable suspicion. In the Court of Appeals for this case, it says, I quote, "A cell phone should be treated more like undergarments than outer garments." I cannot completely ignore the case of TLO. It has made a significant ruling, yet one made over 35 years ago. Smartphones were invented then, so TLO cannot apply. Since then, the cases revolved around the search of cell phones have leaned towards the defendant's side. Reason being that in most cases, like ours, the device was searched thoroughly without probable cause and no implementation of the sliding scale. A small infraction of breaking the school rules by having a phone does not and should not constitute the search of private information on John Doe's phone. Considering the circumstances in which it happened, John Doe's case does not correlate to New Jersey v. TLO. Officials found physical evidence in TLO's purse, and a crime was in plain view of an official who gave their testimony along with TLO's peers. On the other hand, nothing physical was found connecting Doe to his crime. There are no testimonies of John Doe's current crimes of accusation, and his background in dealing with and partaking in marijuana is 2 years old. As Doe's records are outdated, the principal's conjecture does not equate to reasonable suspicion, yet the phone was searched. Although his past is troublesome, Doe's past is that, the past. How long should one's past be held against them? For the rest of the high school career, especially if it was done freshman year. Yes, the search of TLO was justified, because the amount of evidence that arose reasonable suspicion warranted to the extent of the search. But a simple hunch by a biased official of more private property than a purse? No. There are other cases that prove that the defendants violated rights of the Fourth Amendment relate more than this case to TLO. It is correct that circumstances relating to Riley v. California do not line up completely with our case. Yet the ruling of it should explain the connection. In the unanimous decision by your honors respectively, it was determined that the search of a cell phone requires a warrant due to the extent of sensitive information found in such a device. The issue here isn't the background of the case, but literally the object at hand, the cell phone and the privacy it implies.
If there was a picture of something that looked like a gun on campus, would that give the school the right to open the phone?
It would, but that's the sliding scale. A gun and marijuana do not have the same immediate threat to the school. Continuing. Furthermore, in the case of Safford v. Redding, the lack of sliding scale was within, like ours, a public school. School officials in both cases searched the students off of unclear information. In the ruling of this Supreme Court case, it was decided that the search for the evidence must be, quoting, reasonably related to the objectives of the search and not excessively intrusive in the light and nature of the infraction. In simple terms, a sliding scale. So, theoretically, if, due to the background of John Doe and his supposedly suspicious behavior prior to the phone seizure, The violation of school policy about the phone, the search by the principal was constitutional, which my colleagues and I have proven to be false. And the principal would have seen in plain view that the condemning photo of Doe smoking pot on campus contrasted with the initial assumption that it was taken on school grounds.
I touched on this question yesterday, but I want to reiterate. Do you believe that his past does not add to the reasonable suspicion? Do you believe that his known drug use does not add to justifying the search?
It shouldn't influence such things as grades dropping. It can if the photo was clear, but it was not clear as expected, and the principal already assumed because of his hanging out with friends and the grades dropping that he was guilty of possessing and dealing with marijuana. But it was proven in a Cliff versus the United States ruling by the Supreme Court that you were innocent until proven guilty in the court of law. Okay, so in plain view that the condemning photo of Doe smoking pot on campus contrasted with initial assumptions that it was taken on school grounds. Just how the search before the stripping of Miss Redding was with her outer garments, the re-examination of Doe's phone should have been to reassess the wallpaper of the obscure photo for clarification. Since it has since been proven that the picture was not taken on school property, there would be no direct violation of the district policy against illegal drugs, there would be no probable cause to search the photos and the text messages. In simple terms, anything past re-examining the photo with an intentional look is a fishing expedition, and the expulsion of John Doe would be done by violating the Fourth Amendment. Breaking a small rule of having a phone out does not warrant a full search of the device, especially when based off a vague photo that could be anything. That is why the sliding scale should be put in place, and Doe's to be compensated and reinstated.
I have a question. What is the difference between a fishing expedition and a legal search?
A legal search would have actual probable cause and enough evidence to further the search of that. Fishing expeditions, if they're looking for evidence that they don't have yet, there's no reasonable suspicion because the photo is obscured.
So what do you believe is a reasonable expectation of privacy?
And privacy, just as my colleague stated in the Fourth Amendment. And in the 14th Amendment, even though the school is a liberal parentis, in lieu of parents, each student has privacy rights. And that in Riley versus California, device